that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the College Basketball Discussion Podcast. It's episode 4. I'm your host, Alex Freeman, bringing you some more off-season college basketball content, which is obviously what you want in late July. You know, none of that NFL training camp garbage. But in all seriousness, football, I miss you. Hurry up and get here. Of course, it's not just me here today, because that would be super lame. I am joined by two co-hosts. First up, as always, we have everyone's favorite basic white girl, Aaron Thrash. What's up, Aaron?
Nothing much. Thanks for the white girl comment. I appreciate that.
Well, you're welcome. I know you're obsessed with Disney movies and The Office, so you just kind of fit the white girl persona. It's always good to have a female influence on the show, and I do appreciate you.
Hey, I mean, whatever floats your boat. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Oh, of course. And making his podcast return after a few episodes off, it's our big, beefy baritone. It's Bragan Kelly.
Glad to be back on it. Had to dust off the old mic. Ready to get this thing back rolling.
Good to have you here, man. Good to have you back, BK. Now, of course, you guys may be wondering where the other co-hosts are, as always. Ben is participating in the Greenbrier County Monster Truck Rally. Chaz is flying to the moon, and Dan is off watching My Date with the President's Daughter. You guys know that movie?
I've heard of it. Actually. I've heard of it.
Really? You don't know My Date with the President's Daughter? Let me give you this a little here. My date with the president's daughter. My date with the president's daughter. Oh yeah, my date. That song just gets stuck in my head sometimes. You know that?
You know
I'm gonna have stuck in my head.
You know I'm gonna have this playing it on repeat at the gym now, right? That's what's gonna happen.
Because you're a basic white girl.
Before or after you take the mirror selfies by the treadmill?
I don't go on the treadmill. First off, let's get that straight.
Just straight for the glamour muscles, right?
Yeah, that was an old Disney movie. I don't know if you guys were too young to get that reference or not, but
I'm only a year younger than you.
Yeah, but you're just a little baby, Aaron. You're just a little baby.
All right,
you know,
Alex.
I look at you as like a little brother.
Alex, we're gonna fight. I'm sorry.
Oh, of course we are. That's the dynamic, man. Oh, I love it. So yeah, as we all know, Dan, old man Dan, he probably gets that reference. So what's up, Dan? Wink, wink. What up? All right. Anyway, so if you guys haven't seen our last few episodes, first off, you should go listen to those on our YouTube channel, or of course you could search for them on the Facebook group. And if you're hearing us on YouTube or SoundCloud, you should know that this podcast is done in association with the College Basketball Discussion Group on Facebook. We're one of the largest college basketball communities on the web with nearly 4,000 members. If you want to join one of the most active and quickly growing communities for college basketball, you can apply for the group at facebook.com/groups/college basketball discussion, or just search for College Basketball Discussion Group on Facebook. So we've been going through the class of 2018. For various major conferences in anticipation of the upcoming season. And today we're hitting the Big East. Now, I realize it's not a major conference, and we could have easily picked, the American or the A-10. But to be fair, the defending national champ is in the Big East, and it's kind of trending back towards a major conference. Once again, we do need a bit of a chill show. I kind of realized that after doing 14 teams and 13 teams the last two shows.
Yeah, that was a
today
lot.
we only have 9, and that's because DePaul was voted as the least popular in our poll on the Facebook group. So we won't be discussing them. So too bad, DePaul. As far as the rest of the Big East, we will get to them soon. First, I wanted to switch things up, have a little bit of fun here. So I don't know if you guys know this. If you two know it, I certainly do, but I don't know about the rest of the group. As of July 1st, the NCAA Division 1 has added 2 more schools. We now have 353 NCAA Division 1 schools. It's the most in NCAA history.
Wait,
did you guys know this?
No.
How did I not know about this?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
God, it's so fun.
Wait.
Yeah, so...
Wait, no, I did
Are we
know this.
on
I
punked?
did.
No, you're not getting punked. I'm very excited to welcome our 2 new member schools to the echelon of Division I college basketball, North Alabama and California Baptist University. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to Division I. Oh, I'm so excited. Anytime we get more schools, it's a good thing. It's one of the things I love the most about college basketball is that there's just so many teams to follow. And I want to give you a little history on our new friends here. We have North Alabama. They are Alabama's oldest four-year public university. Founded in 1830, it's in the city of Florence, Alabama. Home to about 7,500 students. Colors are purple and gold, and their nickname is the Lions. They've won 7 D2 national championships, including 2 in men's basketball in 1979 and 1991. And they will be playing in the Atlantic Sun Conference, trying to take down the likes of Lipscomb and Florida Gulf Coast. And then we have California Baptist. They are a private Southern Baptist university founded in 1950. About 10,000 students. Colors are blue and gold, and their nickname is the Lancers. Pop quiz. Do either of you know the only other school with the nickname Lancers in D1?
My rival high school, back in high school, is the Shawnee Mission East Lancers.
Yeah, that doesn't count because they're not.
I don't think they made the way up to Division I basketball yet.
Not
I hope
yet.
not. So they're a bunch of kind of rich, preppy douches for the most part. But I wouldn't be surprised if they got the bid. Lancers. Have they
Aaron,
made
do you have any idea?
No.
Have they made the tournament recently?
I don't think so.
Have they ever made the tournament?
I don't know.
Okay.
So it's one of those teams. I feel like I come across something. It was the Lancers recently.
This is not the big event I was talking about.
I know
this
you-
is just
I
a
know.
pop quiz.
Well, this is bad. It was another team that started with an L.
You're right.
They're,
It does start with an L.
They had a weird name, really weird name. Long something.
You are right there. Aaron, do you want to snipe it away?
I'm looking.
Longwood.
No, you can't look.
Oh, I don't know.
Longwood. That's what
Longwood.
it was. Longwood.
He got it.
Yes.
Bragan got it. Yes. So there are now 2 Lancers in D1, the Longwood Lancers and the California Baptist Lancers. Cal Baptist, they won a lot of national championships, but none in men's basketball at any level. In fact, they've only ever won 2 conference championships in men's basketball, and that was in 2014 and 2016. So it seems like a pretty trash program, to be honest with you.
Well,
Well,
they've
that's
had some
nice.
success. They could.
Yeah, I'm ending it on a good note. But,
Sure.
you know, both of these teams, they'll obviously have to go through a transition period, and they won't be postseason eligible until 2022. But they're still getting added to my quote-unquote teams to never dance list, of which there are 42 other teams on. So, Aaron and Bragan, you guys ready for a little game?
Oh boy.
Oh, God.
Are we trying to guess all 42?
Are you ready for a little game? That's the only question I have.
I hope so.
Sure. Why not?
All right.
Now only the really real Mr. Krabs can answer this.
It's trivia time.
That's right. It's trivia time. Can you believe it? Oh my God. You know that little drop took me like 2 hours to make?
Wow.
So it is trivia time. At the beginning of the show, I gave Bragan and Aaron a list of all the D1 college basketball teams, and they've been reviewing those ever since. So you guys can keep going on. Go ahead and look over that stuff while I do a quick little plug here. The music you heard in that drop was made by a man named Kumu. He does mostly video game music remixes. So if you're into that kind of thing, go look. Words. Go look him up on YouTube. It's QUMU. Just type that in. It'll take you right to his YouTube channel. Big thanks to Kumu for giving me permission to use your remix in that drop. So, If you guys haven't figured out the question yet, we're going to have you guys name the teams to never dance. Teams to never make the NCAA tournament. Now, since there's only 2 of you, we're going to give you 3 strikes. Whoever gets the 3 incorrect teams first loses. So it's actually important to go second. Otherwise, I have a feeling we could be here for a while. Now, before the show, we did a coin toss to determine the order. And Aaron, you will be going first, my friend.
Of course I will.
So I will. I won't necessarily give you a time limit on this. Like I said, it's a pretty chill show, but you just need to name one of the 42 teams never to make the NCAA tournament. And if you get it right, you don't get a strike. If you get it wrong, of course, you'll get a strike. 3 strikes and you're out. So go ahead and take a crack at it.
Let's see.
No pressure.
Cornell?
Cornell is wrong.
I remember in I think it was back-to-back years, Cornell played Kansas and then Mizzou in the tournament. That's the reason.
Cornell
I
actually, I think in 2012, I believe they were the first. They were a 12 seed. I know they got a win, and I believe that was like the first Ivy win in like a long time in the NCAA tournament. So, dead wrong, Aaron. Way to go!
Yeah,
you truly live up to your nickname.
More like belongs in the trash.
Bragan Kelly, you're up.
I know 4 definitely off the top of my head.
Oh my God, yes, Aaron, you are going to get creamed. I don't even need to play the millionaire music. Give me an answer, Bragan.
First one, the local school, UMKC.
That is correct. UMKC Kangaroos out of the WAC. Never made it. Never ever. It's well, I guess it's 1-0 here. But as far as strikes, it's 3-2 in favor of Bragan. Aaron, it's your turn, my friend. And the pressure is on because Bragan's got you. He has got you. Where are you going? Remember, you got 41 schools to choose from. You got 41 schools to choose from.
I know, sir. I know.
All right.
Getting in his head now.
I know. And, I'm looking through this list, and honestly, there's like whole conferences you could pick. That's the only hint I'm going to give you. But, I mean, I've studied this thing, up and down, so it seems easy to me. But
Let's go Omaha. Screw it. Let's go Omaha.
Omaha is correct. The Omaha Mavericks have never made the NCAA tournament out of the Summit League. Never, ever made it. So Aaron stays in the game and stays a little competitive with BK. So let's keep it going, BK. Give me your next one.
That one hurts. That was one of the ones I knew.
Okay, alrighty.
Next one. Give me Western Illinois.
Western Illinois is correct. The Western Illinois Leathernecks, also out of the Summit, have never made it to the NCAA tournament. I love how you know this stuff. So great.
I'm just going off of guys that I played with in high school.
Oh, nice.
And,
okay.
they committed to some of these teams, and I did my research on them, so that's why I know.
Advantage. I
know
love
a few
it.
of them.
All right, Aaron. Pressure's back on. I'm going to need your next answer. Once again, it's 3-2 in favor of BK. You like how I only put the music out for him? Oh, my God.
Denver?
Denver. He's going with Denver, ladies and gents. Denver is correct. Also out of the Summit League, the Denver Pioneers never made it. I think they actually they got somewhat close this year. I know they had a pretty good team. I think I pegged them as one of my teams to possibly break the streak. But they have never made it either. So, BK, back to you.
I'm going to go with Elon. the school of Dan and Swoop out of Shawnee Mission South High School.
Oh my God. Elon is correct. The Elon Phoenix out of the Colonial have never made it to the NCAA tournament. And they're most famous for having that Santa Ana kid who got tripped by Grayson Allen. I think that's probably their best moment. So, Aaron, it's once again, it's 3-2. It's going to be back on you, man.
You're enjoying this too much, first off.
I am. I wish you could see the smile on my face.
Let's go. What is this? Prairie View Panthers.
Prairie View. You're going with
Prairie View A&M.
Prairie View A&M. Okay. Let me check my list here. Prairie View is incorrect. Prairie View out of the SWAC, I believe. They have made the tournament at some point. I believe that was in the 80s. I know they haven't been there for a while. Maybe in modern day they've been there, but yeah, they've made it at some point. I know that. I don't have the full list, but I know they have made it at some point because they are not on my list of teams to never dance. Aaron, you are down to your last strike. Bragan, you still have all three of your strikes, of course. Go ahead and give me your next team.
See, I used all the ones that I knew right off the bat.
Uh-oh.
Probably should have just put them in my back pocket. I know it's none of the big conferences because Northwestern was their last one of them.
That's right.
Scrolling through here, I'm gonna go with High Point out of the Big South.
High Point is correct. High Point out of the Big South. The Panthers, now coached by Tubby Smith. Tubby Smith will have an opportunity to lead his alma mater to their first ever NCAA tournament appearance. I think I have pointed that out in the group 3 or 4 times now, so it's one of those things that if you're active on the group, you of course know. I'm pretty locked into teams that never dance and stuff like that. It's one of my favorite things to keep track of. Bragan is once again flawless. Aaron, the pressure is on. If you miss this question, it's game over and BK takes it. So.
That was my chair.
Something?
I just broke my chair in half, leaning back.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that hurt.
Oh my god.
Oh, that really hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
We will keep going. Aaron, pressure is on, man. If you miss this, you're out. By my estimation, I believe we have somewhere around 35 teams or something left. But there's still quite a few. I'm looking through this, and there's a couple of gimmies here, man. Just a couple of gimmies. So
let's go. Bethune-Cookman? We'll do that. Out of the MEAC.
I know where they're out of. Bethune-Cookman is correct. Bethune-Cookman Wildcats out of the MEAC have never made it to the NCAA tournament. Once again, another good year from Bethune-Cookman. Had a chance to make it this year. Couldn't quite break through. Hopefully they do soon. Obviously, we want to get this list down to 0 eventually. Don't know if that'll ever happen. But Aaron stays in the game. Bragan Kelly, are you okay? Is your back broken?
I just completely broke the back off of that chair.
Right,
So
but
I'm
is
just kinda
your back
sitting up.
broken?
Probably not.
Okay,
Probably not.
good.
I'd say
Probably
we're good.
not.
We're going to continue on then.
All right.
Fighting through pain.
I think this team was a newer team, maybe in the last 10 to 15 years. I could be completely wrong because I don't remember seeing them before that. But I'm gonna go with Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
He says Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Texas A&M Corpus Christi is wrong. Dead wrong. Texas A&M Corpus Christi, I believe, made it to the tournament somewhat recently.
They had a play-in game. not that long in the first four, or whatever they call the first round now.
Right.
I do remember seeing that.
Did
now.
they?
Gosh, I believe.
I thought it
so.
might have been
I think they're playing
back
for a
in
16 seed.
Back when they had the 65 team format. I think they might have been in one.
That could have been it too.
I
I
think that
do
might have
remember
been
a play-in game with them though.
All right. Well, Bragan Kelly is no longer flawless. All of a sudden, we got a game here, folks. We got a game. Aaron Thrash, it's going to be back on you, my friend.
Let's
What you
go.
got?
Let's go Texas State out of the Sun Belt.
Okay. Texas State out of the Sun Belt, he says. You feeling confident?
Not at all, but I mean, we'll roll with it. See what happens.
Texas State is wrong. You're out. Oh, it's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. Bragan Kelly is the winner. BK, you are the winner, my friend. Rejoice in your victory.
Feels
Give
good.
a nice parade wave to the people.
I'm waving. You guys can't see it. I'm waving to everybody.
Fun fact, everyone from the Sun Belt has made the tournament, believe it or not. So you struck out there, Aaron. There was
okay.
a couple of gimmies. Guys, there's like 9 schools in the
Longwood.
WAC.
Longwood's gotta
5
be
of them
one,
have never
right?
made it. Longwood's never made it. You got teams like Chicago State. You got Utah Valley, who was real close. You got new schools like Grand Canyon. You got Abilene Christian. You got Incarnate Word. All schools that have been added within the last few years. You got the Atlantic Sun is another one. Kennesaw State, NJIT, Stetson, South Carolina Upstate.
I was gonna guess NJIT, but I decided not to.
You got the American East. Half of their teams have never made it. Maine, New Hampshire, Hartford, UMass Lowell. You know, you got the NEC, Bryant, Sacred Heart, St. Francis, Brooklyn, and well, that's it in there, I guess. But Southland, Central Arkansas, Incarnate Word, Abilene Christian. So, and then you guessed the SWAC, Aaron. Only one SWAC team's never made it to the tournament, despite that being one of the worst conferences. It's got a history of being in the NCAA for a long time. Grambling State is the only team in the SWAC that's never made it.
The more you know.
The more you know. Also, gosh, did I even have them on here? I think you could have said Savannah State as well. I don't think Savannah State's ever made it. I might have actually deleted them because I thought they were leaving. No, they're on here. Okay. Savannah State, so our number of 353 teams is actually going to drop to 352. Savannah State, this is their last year in Division I. They're making the transition to D2.
Man.
So,
That's what happens when you don't make the tournament. Everybody else
this is
better
their
watch
last
out.
chance. This is their last chance to make it. Otherwise, they are going to get struck out.
I'm hopping on the bandwagon right now. I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, that was some fun. You guys enjoy that?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Nice little workout to start this.
All right, so we're going to jump right into the Big East class of 2018 here. Of course, we're going to start off with Villanova. Villanova has the number 1 ranked class in the Big East. They're ranked 9th nationally, and I assigned this to myself because I like to assign the best schools, obviously, to myself because I'm selfish like that.
Yeah.
We do have 1 5-star in the Big East. We only have 1, though, and it's from Villanova. His name's Javon Quinterly. He's a 6', 170 point guard, 5-star from Jersey City, New Jersey, ranked 29th by 24/7, 26 by ESPN. You guys know I'm skeptical of these 5-stars usually, but actually I'm somewhat impressed by Javon. He plays a lot bigger than his size, being 6 foot. He doesn't look 6 foot. I thought he was like 6'3", but he's very quick, phenomenal handles. He's very good body control, more of a drive and dish kind of guy than a shooter. And his shooting form needs some work, but it feels like he can step into the starting point guard role for Jay Wright from day one and do pretty well just because of his immense amount of talent. So definitely a guy to look out for. You know, with this whole Villanova class, it just feels like Jay Wright's doing it again. Retooling, reloading, you know, getting ready for national championship number 3. I don't know if it's probably not the best class I've seen. But, you know, Jay Wright's a phenomenal coach. So, moving on, we got Cole Swider, 6'7", 210 power forward. He's a 4-star from Barrington, Rhode Island, ranked 42nd by 24/7, 34th by ESPN. Swider's a prototypical stretch 4. Plays the position very well. He's going to be another great shooter for Jay Wright. Doesn't always catch and shoot. Often looks for the open man as well. He's got great court vision for a guy his size for a stretch 4. If there's one knock on him, he could probably use the bulk up a little bit more and command the paint. But if he's going to be more of a shooter anyway, he'll be fine where he's at because he's got the knockdown ability. It's just a matter of if he can, play the post if needed. But again, feels like another great pickup for Jay Wright. And obviously, if you guys have anything to interject, feel free to just interrupt me. We did do our individual research, broke this up a little bit. Obviously, it's a lot less daunting when you, give each other a couple teams to cover rather than, 9 teams to cover. Again, it's going to be a chill show. Just bear with us here. So we got Brandon Slater. He's the third recruit for Villanova. 6'6", 180 small forward. He's a 4-star from Fairfax, Virginia. He's ranked 52nd by ESPN and 24/7. They actually agree on something for once. Go figure. Slater's a lefty. He's a high-energy player. Great finisher at the rim. Good shooter. Good ball handler. Great shot blocker, rebounder. He's a very complete player for a 4-star. I mean, he's a high-ranked 4-star. I'd put him ahead of Cole Swider, personally. Just feels like a player that can do anything, really. Just another great kid. And then we finish off Villanova with a guy named Sadiq Bey, definitely an all-name team candidate. 6'7", 195 small forward from Washington, D.C., 4-star, ranked 135 by 24/7. Is a fairly late recruit, I believe. He came on in early June. I want to say it was around Father's Day, because I think I sent you guys that link, and I was on the road, and then no one posted it, so I just posted it. Sticks out of my mind.
Got
Anyway.
everything for yourself.
But Sadiq, he's a do everything, lengthy, small forward that'll fit right in. He's got a great stroke from deep, good post moves. He's also got some guard skills. He kind of played the 2-3 in high school. He can create his own shot. He's just a really complete player who's kind of underrated. I like watching him a lot. Obviously, being 6'7" and having guard skills, always a good thing. Pretty impressed with Jay Wright's class here. I think it lives up to its top 10 ranking. So that's all I got for Villanova. We did mean to have Dan on as well. Old man Dan was supposed to be here, but like I said, he's watching My Date with the President's Daughter. So Dan did take some notes, and he dispersed them to the three of us. And next up is Providence. They're ranked 20th nationally, second in the Big East. And my boy Aaron got Dan's notes for that, so I'm going to let you go for it.
Okay, so their first guy, well, let me back up. Providence, 20th nationally, second in the Big East.
I just said that.
Okay, well.
Go
anyways. Anyways, their first guy,
Oh, wait.
David Dukes.
Hang on.
You done messed up, Aaron!
Now everything's right with the world. Go ahead.
Of course. Their first guy, David Dukes, 6'3", 175 combo guard, 4-star from Ashburn, Maryland. He's ranked 46 by 24/7, 49th by ESPN. I watched a little bit on this kid. He seems to be more focused on scoring as opposed to getting the ball, spreading the ball around. He's athletic. He can create his own shot. He's a very good slasher, athletic guard. I didn't see too many. When I study guards, I like to see if they can score from all 3 levels. I didn't see him score from the 3rd level. That is the 3. I saw him attacking the rim a lot. I saw him pulling up for mid-range every now and again. He was a highly rated recruit, so I like his long-term potential. He'll be there about 2-3 years more than likely. The second guy they have, AJ Reeves, 6'5".
I want to jump in real quick.
Oh,
on
sorry.
Dukes if I can. No, you're good. Duke, he seems like a bit of a lengthy guy.
Yes.
He plays. It looks like he plays bigger than his size. Likes to attack the rim a little bit. But yeah, he looks pretty good, obviously. And that's Ashburnham, Massachusetts, not Maryland.
Did I say? Go ahead.
Maryland's MD.
States are hard.
You're good. No. Go ahead. Tell us about AJ Reeves.
Okay. AJ Reeves, 6'5", 180 small forward, 4-star from Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts.
Yeah. Give it up for AA Ron. Go ahead, buddy.
Ranked 47th by 24/7, 55th by ESPN. I didn't really watch a lot on this kid. But some of the things Dan noted, he's more known for his three-point shot. He'll continue to develop his mid-range game. And one thing, he is 6'5", 180. He's going to need to bulk up in order to – and I say that about a lot of players, but the difference from high school to collegiate level athletics is a big difference, especially D1 athletics. He's going to need to bulk up probably about 10, 15 pounds in order to – so he can stay in front of his defender so he doesn't get pushed around a lot. Anything you want to add?
He's a real flashy player. I didn't see a whole lot on him, but he's one of these guys that's a good ball handler, dunk in your face, fast player. He was in a documentary. I don't know much about it at all, but it's called Finding Kobe Bryant. I think they're trying to find like the next great, talent.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So anyway, he was in that, featured in that. So, but yeah, very, very flashy. He'll definitely make some highlight tapes. Pretty complete player, looks like.
I see him as a 2-3 year project, probably. More than likely.
Yeah,
We'll
he
see.
could use some work, but I think he could be good with that work. So.
I completely agree. Third guy, Jimmy Nichols, 6'8", 205 power forward, 3-star from Conway, South Carolina. Ranked 185 by 24/7. He plays like a stretch four. His best attribute is to catch off the shoot, so that'll be what he leans on when he gets to the collegiate level. He brings some versatility as the defensive end, which is very key in today's basketball. So he doesn't get abused on the pick and roll, and teams just don't go at him, and he can switch off and guards on the perimeter. He can hold his own essentially. He played on Adidas circuit with Garner Road Bulldogs as well. Anything?
You mean Gardner Webb?
No, Gardner Road.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I thought you were talking about like Gardner Webb, like the college.
They're the
No.
Bulldogs too, aren't they?
They are. That's why I was confused.
Yeah. Well,
AAU circuit.
Okay.
Anything?
Nope.
Okay. Fourth and last guy, Chris Monroe, 6'7", 220 small forward, 3-star from Raleigh, North Carolina. Ranked 324.
From Raleigh.
I lived in North Carolina, so shush.
Is that how it's pronounced? I thought it was
No, it
Raleigh.
isn't. It's Raleigh.
What?
It's Raleigh.
What?
I was
You're
Raleigh.
blowing my mind.
Anyways, let's continue.
Okay. I never knew this. Go ahead.
He played on the same AAU team that produced Kai Bowman. His
Oh,
three-point.
love me some Kai Bowman.
He has a 3. He's a good rebounder for his size, athletic forward. One thing Dan noticed is he has an identical scouting report to former Friar Rodney Bullock,
Okay.
who was the leading scorer on the last year's team. One thing I like about this kid, he has collegiate size, so he can come in and defend and be athletic right away.
You don't even indulge me on my Kai Bowman comment.
I mean, Kai Bowman.
You
I
don't
just
like
kind
Kai
of
Bowman?
imagine Aaron just kind of gave you the look to, shut up, stop interjecting. Like, just that pause, I just kind of pictured Aaron just looking at his camera like, damn it, Alex.
Probably.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead. All right, wait, is that it?
that's it.
Okay, cool. What we got next? We got Georgetown. Oh, this is me, isn't it? Okay.
It is you.
It is me. All right. Bragan, you're going to be on the bench for a little bit.
I know. Mine's
You're going to be our. You're going to be our sixth man of the year. Don't worry.
I have like 4 teams before I get to go.
I guess you're going to.
You just stuck me with all the crap teams. That's what it was.
No, you. Well, let me be fair here. You volunteered for Marquette.
I did volunteer for Marquette.
I wanted Marquette to be fair. I wanted to do Marquette because they have my guy. But
Well, I got him, so back off.
We stuck you with Creighton, which I think is hilarious. So here's the thing. Aaron's a Nebraska guy. I think everyone in the planet knows that. So when we were dividing up teams, I thought, oh, Aaron will take Creighton. And then he throws a hissy fit. He's like, oh, what, Creighton? Omaha or wherever. Are they in Omaha?
Yeah, they're in Omaha. We don't like Omaha
Okay.
here in
He's
Lincoln.
like, Omaha is the worst city in the world. Like, it's got the worst drivers. I'm Aaron Thrash. Ugh.
No, statistically, they did research. They have the worst drivers in the world. They are number one. That's over California. That's over places in New York. That's over everyone.
More like belongs in the trash.
Okay, Alex.
Don't make me start drinking already, Aaron.
No.
It's too early for this.
Okay. We'll move on. Anyway, I was just giving you a hard time, man. We got Georgetown up next. They're ranked 31st nationally. They're going to be 3rd in the Big East. This was, again, a team that old man Dan searched out for us, but he could not make it because he is watching My Date with the President's Daughter. I want that to be clear. This is what he's doing besides doing the show. This is not a joke. So anyway, this is Patrick Ewing's second recruiting class. Dan had him listed as his first recruiting class. I don't think that's the case because it's obviously his second year. Maybe his first full recruiting class. I don't know if he was a late hire. But it is a very defensive-minded class from what Dan noted out. We got probably my favorite guy that I scouted out from the Big East, James Ajinko, 6 foot, 160 point guard. He's a 4-star from Richmond, California. He's ranked 87th by 24/7, not ranked by ESPN. I don't think that's a red flag at all, but Dan has him listed as a lockdown defender, which is always good to see in point guards. I know Aaron loves that.
Yep.
He's shown the ability to shoot the ball from deep. Solid passer, needs to mature more on the offensive end, blah, blah, blah. Intangibles are off the charts, leadership skills, blah, blah, blah. That's what Dan said. Now, what I saw from James Ajinko, he is very fun to watch. His ball handling skills are off the charts. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. He was, there's a difference between guys who are out there jawing and they have like a, malicious intent. And then there's guys like Ajinko who are out there jawing and then they go out and just, I don't know. There's a difference though. You can tell, right? Like you can tell when someone's out there, just being a jerk versus being hyped, right?
Yeah, sure.
Is that just
when
me?
you're on the court, you can definitely tell. If you're just watching on TV, then it's a little.
No, I think I have superpowers. So
You probably are right there.
yeah. No, but I really like Ajinko. He's a very complete player. I honestly think he's one of the most complete point guards in the class. He's got all of the point guard skills you want. He's not really a deep knockdown shooter. He probably does need to mature a little bit on the offensive end, from what Dan said. But I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that he's not much of a shooter. He can shoot. It's just he doesn't prefer to shoot. He's more of a dribble, drive, and disperse kind of guy. I think that's perfect. For a young team like Georgetown who needs some help, I think Ajinko is perfect. I think he'll grow into a phenomenal point guard. I think he has a really high ceiling. So go watch your tape on James Ajinko. Next up, we got Josh LeBlanc, I guess. He's from Louisiana, so that could be French. 6'7", 213 power forward. He's a 4-star from Baton Rouge, ranked 121 by 24/7. Guy's wingspan's off the charts. He's 7'1" wingspan, pretty big for a 6'7" guy. Just a natural shot blocker. Again, another guy that needs to work offensively. And Dan called him a glue guy, but he averaged 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks per game. 5 blocks in high school.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That has some decent competition down there too. So that's intriguing.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was another player. I think St. John's had a player who played for Louisiana Elite, which was the AAU team he played on. But yeah, LeBlanc's skill is nothing to scoff at. He's got good moves in the paint. He can be dominant with his wingspan. He's a phenomenal rebounder and shot blocker. This is how it is. I think the offense will come with time, and I don't think glue guy is necessarily a bad thing, again, for a young Georgetown team that needs some help. Another guy who I think is a great prospect and will provide instant defense.
And that's always key to have. That is.
Yeah. Judging based on this class, heck, Georgetown could, have one of the better defenses in the Big East. So I think Patrick Ewing's done a great job with this. Moving on, we got Grayson Carter, 6'8", 200 power forward, a bigger power forward than, so Josh LeBlanc is actually heavier. Grayson Carter's taller, but Grayson's a bigger bodied power forward. He's a guy who can score at all three levels, and he's a great guy to help stretch the floor. It's funny because when Dan gave me his notes, I saw that Dan had him listed as more of a shooter, and then when I looked him up, it looked like he was more of a post guy. But I actually saw the film that Dan saw, and I noticed that, oh my gosh, he is a shooter. I just think we saw completely different tapes. But this really shows the versatility of Grayson Carter. He can bounce it out and be a great knockdown shooter, but he's also got the big body to take you in the post and finish. So he's a really complete, again, a stretch four. He's going to help stretch the floor well. Dan also noted that he shows the ability to pass the ball pretty well for a big, and he can get his own shot. He calls him an average defender, which I tend to disagree with. I think he's a little above average. And he also said he needs to work on his dribble drive game, which, again, I think is a little better than Dan thinks. So it just goes to show you, two people watch the same film, and obviously, Aaron and I disagree on Zion Williamson. We don't need to get into that again, but
let's not get into that.
I want to, though. But
no,
I think in time, we will find out the right answer. So that's all that matters. And then probably I've never seen a 3-star have so much hype behind him. I truly have not.
No.
I kind of get it, but sorry, what was that, BK?
Oh, nothing.
No, you can talk.
I'm just, most of the hype is coming from you at this point.
From me?
Yeah, from you.
When have I hyped Matt McClung up?
Or no, that's Dan actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Dan's the one that's always talking about McClung.
Dan's leading the hype train. I know Ben also thinks very highly of McClung because McClung is a guy who is from Ben's neck of the woods.
Yes.
I don't know if I don't know what Ben knows about Mac McClung and his game, but I know he says he's a phenomenal player, and the tape don't lie. He is a great player. 6'2", 175 combo guard. He's only a 3-star, ranked 242 by 24/7. I'm just going to get this out of the way, what Dan said, and then I'll go and talk. But Dan says, easily my favorite guy of this conference. Again, he's ranked 242. He's a knockdown shooter, shows the ability to play both guard positions, needs to work on improving his defensive game, comes in with a chip on his shoulder. Huge get for Ewing being a local D.C. area kid. Now, I think when I first saw Mac McClung, I posed a nice hypothetical question to the group. Name me the last time a white guy went to Georgetown, and you struggle to hear that, right? Like it's I don't know.
Now that Thompson's gone, you can get all the white guys you want.
Anyways,
That's true.
Well, yeah. I mean, really, it's just something you don't see. I don't think Georgetown's an HBCU, but it might as well be.
They want to be.
They want to be?
They want to be.
Well, they might as well be for the amount of kids that come through there that aren't white, of course. But we're not talking. Race is not the issue here. I'm just saying Mac McClung, it's a very odd fit at Georgetown as far as his outer layer. As far as his basketball skills, he is a good player. I'm not going to knock him on that. He's gone very viral with his dunking ability, but it's nowhere near the greatness of Zion, of course. He can he can shoot. I can just see Aaron's eyes glaring at me, and you don't have to say anything. McClung can shoot from anywhere in the gym. He's another one of these guys that's got unlimited range. He's a pretty complete player. I think the only downside is that he's very confident. He's a little cocky. I mean, I think he'll be humbled at the next level. If you think he's going to put up 40 points a night at Georgetown, I think you're sadly mistaken. He's got potential to be special, but, it's not – his potential is not something you often see from a 3-star. I'll give you that. It's just – I think the hype's a little too much on him. We got to remember he's a 3-star, There's been 3-stars that have come out and been phenomenal, sure, but you got to wonder what's the knock on this kid if he's not more highly rated. So,
I think
he's.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, you go ahead.
The reason he's ranked so low, from what I've been able to gather, get seeded Virginia, that area, that neck of the woods, it doesn't necessarily have the greatest competition. Now, whenever he goes play on the AAU circuit, or when he goes and plays against real competition, he does put up good numbers. To caveat what you said, though, he does seem to be a little full of himself at times, and that could be very good and very bad for him, because there can be games where he's just hot as just hot, and
Don't even let me have this one.
You done messed up, Aaron!
I'll shut up now.
Just keep going.
And there's games where he can be hotter than all hell, and there can be games when he lets his attitude get to him, and other teams are going to pick on that. Essentially, they're going to know, hey, he has a short fuse at times, and it'll be something to watch. I think he's going to need a bulk up, probably 6'2", 175. He's going to more than likely be playing the point. I'm interested.
Well, I don't know if he'll play the point with James Ajinko. I would much rather have Ajinko there.
That's a small backcourt. That's a really small backcourt. I'm going to say that.
I feel like McClung could play the 2 guard, because he definitely could be a catch and shoot guy. He's got point guard skills too.
He does.
But I think he's more of a project than most people think. So we'll see.
There's a reason he's a 3-star.
There is, yes.
Yeah. But obviously, I don't remember the last time a 3-star got this much hype. That's mostly what I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
I think we'll move on from there. So we'll see how he does. But Georgetown has one eligible transfer coming in this year. Greg Malinowski's a 6'6", 210 senior shooting guard from William & Mary. Not a grad transfer. He finished up his junior year, and then he just has 1 year of eligibility left. So not a super senior. So he sat out last year. 6.5 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game on 42% shooting. Last year at William & Mary. So that would be the guy that's coming in for them. So, again, wow, we are not getting to Bragan for some time, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
Do you want to just do some stand up or something?
Oh, you guys couldn't handle that.
All right. Well, we're gonna get to obviously Aaron's favorite Nebraska school, Creighton. Let's talk some Creighton basketball, Aaron.
That one school in Omaha, that's what we're going to touch on right now. Ranked 40th nationally, 4th in the Big East. Their top guy is a 4-star, Marcus. I said this last night. Marcus Zagorowski, 6'1".
Hey, there you go.
6'1", 165 combo guard from Tilton, New Hampshire, ranked 107 by 24/7, 100 by ESPN. One thing I noticed about this kid, he can score at all 3 levels very efficiently also. He seems to have the game figured out. He seems to know how to score the ball at all 3 levels. That's one thing I think he's going to go in and do that very well at the next level. He's very good at driving to the rim. That's probably his strength, driving to the rim. Now, him only being 165, he's going to probably need to put on 10, 15 pounds, or he's going to get bodied at the next level. One thing I did notice, he does have point skills. He does have point guard skills. He's a good passer. He has a high IQ. But he seems to be better off the ball. He's going to need to work on those skills. Now, granted, they have an Omaha kid, Sharif Mitchell, coming in. Not this class, the next class. A 4-star from Omaha. He can play the point also, so it'll be interesting what they do with those two. I thought about that last night. I'm like, why recruit two 4-star point guards? Greg McDermott is a great coach. I'm not going to question him at all. I don't question him at all. He's more than likely to contribute early because of the loss of Kyrie Thomas and Marcus Foster. Those are two huge holes that are going to need to be filled next year.
Oh, for sure. That team hasn't had to worry about, having a backcourt or having a star backcourt with, Marcus Foster back there leading the way the last couple years.
They also lost Robbie Harrell as well. Their glue guy at the 4 spot.
Okay.
I like his impact. I like his potential to make an impact right away. I did say that. One thing I did notice, he has a very, very smooth stroke from deep. His stroke is very smooth. I like this kid. It'll be interesting what he seems also very mature. I watched an interview with him. He seemed to be very mature. Second guy, Sam Frawling. 6'11".
Talk about a guy who needs to bulk up right here. He looked. I don't know how you feel about this, but he looks very lanky.
He does. 6'11", 225, 3-star from Australia. I love my Aussies. So this, I like Sam Frawley. It is just something I noticed, or something about him. He has a smooth left.
You loved him?
No. Let me talk.
What did you notice about him?
You're enjoying this. He has a smooth lefty stroke. He plays bigger in the post than his size suggests. That's one thing I did notice. He won't let a bigger defender body him. He's a new age type of big. He can tack off the dribble, or he can pull it from deep. One thing I didn't like at all, especially being 6'11", his pick and roll game was very, very bad. They did like an 8-minute video scouting him because they know how hard these international guys are to find tape on. He didn't set hard picks at all. He barely set a pick, and that's going to need to be worked on a lot, especially being a big.
At least.
And to what you noted, Alex, he's very lanky. Yes, he does need to bulk up probably. 6'11", 225. Yeah, I would say.
I think it's just the height that kind of makes him look a little smaller than he is. I mean, 225 is nothing to scoff at.
No, it isn't.
But
it might be his wingspan also. I didn't look up his wingspan.
Okay.
Well, if he's being aggressive enough with guys that are bigger than him in the paint, it shouldn't be too hard to teach him, set harder screens and, I mean,
it caught me off guard when I saw his screen setting. It really did. I was just caught off guard. I didn't like it at all.
Well, and being as big as he is,
yeah, it shouldn't be.
As a high school player, you don't have to, you don't have to be as fundamental at that age. But now it's where it's gonna.
This
really
is true.
To play.
Yeah, that's Sam Frawley. We'll see what kind of impact he makes right away. They have a couple bigs already, so he'll probably be second or third big off the bench, more than likely. This third guy, I really like this third guy. Christian Bishop, 6'7", 190 small forward, 3-star from Summit, Missouri. Ranked 160 by 24/7. He's a very versatile forward and has guard-like skills due to him growing in high school. I was watching something on him. He grew like I want to say, I don't know if this is true or not, he according to them, he grew a foot in high school.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So he has very good guard skills. I noticed that right out the gate. He's very, very long for the forward. I like his defensive potential right out the bat. And that could help him get on the court also. His jumper seemed to be there, but it was more catch and shoot, not dribble drives. It was more catch and shoot in the corner, at the wing, things like that. I like the long-term prospect of this kid. I really do. Just because of his wingspan, his defensive versatility, his guard-like skills. I like him moving forward, essentially.
Those are some long arms. I'm taking a look at him right now.
Yes, you see what I'm saying?
That is a massive wingspan.
I didn't look up his wings. Yeah, I like his potential a lot.
Yeah, that's got to be somewhere. That's got to be in the 7-foot range.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Their last guy, they have an eligible transfer, Damian Jefferson, 6'5", 190 small forward from New Mexico. He only averaged 5 points and 2 rebounds in New Mexico, and the reason he ended up coming to Creighton because one of the coaches from New Mexico ended up leaving and going to Creighton, and he ended up bringing. It was basically a package deal. Hey, Damian, come with me. In his off year, he did work on his jumper. I was reading something about it. He said it was more like a slingshot, so that'll help him get on the court because Creighton likes to shoot the ball. We all know this. Yeah, he worked on his jumper. He worked on his jumper in his off year, and if his jumper continues to progress, it'll get him time on the court. It just depends on how much this year off helped him improve.
All right. Good deal. All right, we're going to move on to St. John's. They are ranked 59th nationally, 6th in the Big East. I'm a big fan of what Chris Mullen's done thus far over at St. John's. So looking forward to – I was looking forward to seeing what he's bringing in. And honestly, I don't know. I'm not really impressed. They got Greg Williams as their highest ranked guy, 6'3", 190 shooting guard, 3-star from Lafayette, Louisiana. This was the guy that was on the Louisiana elite team with Josh LeBlanc from Georgetown. Williams, he's a great ball handler. He's got great hops. He makes these highlight dunks. It's just a little weird because he has great hops, but he barely jumps off the ground for a jump shot. It's very strange. He barely leaves the ground. I don't know. I wasn't very impressed by him. He needs some work. He's decent, but he's just a meh shooting guard. So not really too impressive. Didn't jump off the film to me. They also got a guy named Marcellus Erlington, 6'5", 240 small forward. Very weird dimensions there. 6'5", 240 small forward. He plays much more weird. Like a 4. He doesn't have much of a jump shot from what I saw. He's in a weird spot because he's kind of too small to be a dominant 4, but he's too large to be a 3. And he doesn't have a small forward skill set because he's not much of a shooter. Now, he's not a bad 4, and he had decent moves down low, but at his height, I feel like he's going to get bodied just playing the post. So I think his best move is probably to slim down and work on his outside game, but I don't know, either that or hit a growth spurt. I don't think that one's practical, but he's just a 3-star. He's ranked 267 by 24/7. Just a kind of a tweener that I don't know what to expect from him at the next level. It's a very weird spot for him to be in. So Josh Roberts, 6'8", 200 power forward, 3-star from Montverde, Florida, out of Montverde Academy. You got to be good to be there, of course. A lot of good prospects come out of Montverde. We've touched on that. There honestly wasn't much tape on him, though. I had to do some digging. He's mostly just a low post guy. He's a dunker. He's a blocker. He's a rebounder. He's not bad at it. He's just kind of one-dimensional. And that's really all I saw from him. So, their last guy, LJ Figueroa. This one's a weird one. 6'5", 185 small forward. Was not ranked by 24/7. I had to dig into this a little bit. So he's a JUCO guy. He's from Odessa Community College in Texas. Former New Mexico State commit. He was ranked as a 4-star, top 100 guy in the class of 2017. So I don't know why he went to the JUCO. I didn't really look into it too much. I don't know if there's some discipline issues. I don't know what happened, but was going to go to New Mexico State, didn't go to New Mexico State, went to Odessa CC. Averaged 21.4 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game on 48% shooting in his only season at Odessa. First team All-American JUCO, nothing to scoff at. And there was no tape from his Odessa days. Obviously, I don't know who the media guy at Odessa Community College is, but he probably has better things to do. The tape told that he shows pretty aggressive play. He's got a quick release and a nice jumper from deep. Kind of owned kids in high school. He's very dominant. I think he's just a natural scorer. He could help any team. I just don't know why such a highly touted guy goes to a JUCO like that. So I don't necessarily know what happened. Kind of a mystery. We'll see what happens.
A character thing, or they just want to focus on one little part of their game that they want to take them to the next level is usually the case.
Or grades also. That can also play a factor.
Yeah, I thought about that. Could be any of those things. Not exactly sure what the reasoning was, but we'll see how he does at the D1 level, obviously. So, where are we on? St. John's? Yes. So, St. John's has 2 eligible transfers. They have Mikey Dixon, 6'2", 160 sophomore point guard from Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac's had a couple of kids transfer out from this. I guess it would have been last year. So now they're eligible this year. But Mikey Dixon, he was a pretty good player at Quinnipiac. 16.5 points, 3.7 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 45% field goal percentage, and 37% on threes at his only season at Quinnipiac. So not bad numbers there at all. If you can get 16.5 points coming in, obviously a small school, but we'll see what he can do there. And then they have Sadiq Kieda. Hope I'm saying that right. 6'9", 240 sophomore center from South Carolina. Obviously a big dude, 5. Always good to have that. Didn't play much for South Carolina at all. Averaged 10 minutes per game, 1.2 rebounds. So didn't do anything at South Carolina. So nothing to go off of there. BK, it is your time to shine, my friend. We're on to Seton Hall, and I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, Seton Hall is one of Dan's teams, and he sent me everything kind of late last night, so I didn't have a chance to go over a lot of film. So we're just going to hope that Dan is perfect with all of his notes. And, first guy we got is Jared Roden. He's a 6'6", 190-pound shooting guard from the Bronx. He's a 3-star, ranked 196 by 247. According to Dan, he needs to work on his shooting stroke. Shoots it very high and late, but he is a good shooter with good moves going to the hoop. Athletic guard, can also play at the 3 with his size. Lanky defender, but needs to work on his quickness on defense, vertical quickness. Can go get his own shot, and his corner 3 is the best shot from behind the arc. So he's really more of a 3-guard kind of guy from the sounds of it. I don't know if you had any...
Nope, I don't have anything on Seton Hall, so just go ahead and read off Dan's notes.
Well, who does, right? We got Vladimir Manuel. He's a 6'10 center, only 210 pounds, though. He's from Elizabeth, New Jersey, ranked 199th by 247. He's a face-up guy, the good post game. Needs to improve on his footwork. He's an underrated rebounder, a very good defender, the good stroke, and he is noted as the most efficient offensive player out of the past 20 years by his high school coach, which I'm not sure the level of talent that his high school has produced, so that could mean a number of things, but I guess that's something to hang your hat on, I suppose.
Can't teach size.
You can't. So does need to beef up a little bit more, though, from the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, that's majority of these kids coming out of high school. So, a lot can be said. We got Anthony Nelson. He's a 6'4", 180-pound combo guard from South Kent, Connecticut. He was ranked just behind Roden Emanuel at 202. He's an all-around good player. He's got a quick first step. He's known more as a slasher. He can shoot when he needs to, but it's not really a go-to for him. Probably needs to improve on his stroke if he wants to really make anything of himself, being only 6'4". He needs to work on his rebounding. He's looking at a point guard role for this team. So he can get to the rim whenever he wants. I'm taking he's just very good, aggressive ball handler. They also had 2 eligible transfers, one coming from Sacred Heart. It's Quincy McKnight. He averaged 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists the last time he played. So I'm assuming he's going to be a guy that'll be contributing right away. At least I would hope so. They also had a sophomore power forward from Syracuse, averaged 9.4 points per game, 4 rebounds. And Dan says it will give Seton Hall an immediate boost in scoring, but he needs to develop his mid-range game more.
That's Torian Thompson.
Yes,
You
Torian
didn't
Thompson.
mention his
I did
name,
not mention
so.
his name. I apologize.
No worries there. Yep, so that's briefly Seton Hall. Again, Dan's notes, so if they're wrong, blame him. Xavier. Xavier is another one of Bragan's teams, so tell us what you saw on the film. Obviously, Chris returned to the MAC, is gone, and he's off to Louisville. So they are orphaned. So tell us what you found, Bragan.
None of these guys really. They did sign 3 3-stars. None of them really impressed me all that much, to be honest. Their highest rated guy, according to 247, not by me, is Jake Walter. He's 7 feet, 270 pounds center. So I mean, he's a big guy. He is. He doesn't need to fill out anymore. He came out of Alexandria, Kentucky, and there really wasn't a lot of film on him. And I watched one full game I managed to find on him, and he wasn't even his primary or secondary option on offense. He had a couple of good guards on his team. He was just kind of the guy that was banging around in the paint, picking up fouls, just taking up space, really. Obviously, there's a lot you can work with. You can't teach size. He's 7 feet, 270 pounds. So if you can get him motivated to do, something, work on his footwork, offensive games, anything, you could be valuable. But I really don't see a whole lot out of him. He's just big. That's really all there was to it. And then we had Dontarius James. He's a 6'7" power forward out of South Carolina. He's ranked 218 by 247. He really likes to just kind of hang around in the corner on offense for the most part. He doesn't really come out to the wing or the top of the key. He just kind of sits there a lot. Not a lot of moving around, which is a concern for me.
So is he like a catch and shoot guy, or?
Yes, he just kind of waits there for the most part. He can't really create his own shot from what I've seen. He's very athletic though. There's a lot of videos of him just dunking on opponents, which that's cool and all, but not really what I'm looking for personally. Right. He's not really a strong finisher overall. I mean, obviously he can catch bodies when he needs to, but as far as finesse finishing, nothing impressive. Needs to develop a mid-range game if he really wants to be successful in college.
Sounds pretty underwhelming for his size, honestly.
He is, and he didn't seem to want to play big at all. Like I said, this is just very underwhelming. I was very disappointed in this class overall. We have Keontae Kennedy is the last guy. He's a 6'4" shooting guard out of Austin, Texas, ranked 235th by 247. He has a very good deep ball. He can shoot from anywhere. He's one of those guys that can pull up, drain from anywhere on the court. Not a whole lot catch and shoot. He was playing a lot of point guard from what I saw, but he's listed as a shooting guard. He's a finesse finisher, got a quick first step. Doesn't really like to go to his left, though, which is a bit of a concern for me, because by the time you get to college, you need to be able to confidently finish on with both hands. And the biggest thing to take away from him is he needs to hit the weight room. He's only 175 pounds at 6'4". Probably needs to put on 15 pounds of muscle before he's actually going to be anything I would be confident in putting on the court.
Okay. Good enough.
Hey, that's just
Thank you
me.
for your impact. What's that?
That's just me. Like I said, very underwhelming.
Yeah. That Dontarius James kid sounds like he needs some work. All right, we're going to move on to, we're almost done here. We got Butler up next. They're our second to last school we're covering. Aaron has that, and I guess this is one of your favorite guys here, first up. So.
Yeah, Bryce Golden, 6'9", 220 power forward, 3-star from Sharpsburg, Maryland.
Yep.
Ranked 221 by 24/7. Now, on the website, it noted he's up to 250, so that can put him in at the small ball 4, or he can play the small ball 5.
220 to 250?
250.
Holy moly. That's all right.
And the thing is, even in high school, even in his high school tape, I noticed he played very physical, and that was at 220. I want to see how he plays at the size of 250. Now, granted, that's on the team website. So
I think he needs to lay off the Oreos.
Take that for what it's worth. I didn't really see a jumper out of him. A lot of his game is predicated on above the rim stuff, mid to high post. He's a back to the basket big, but not necessarily. He plays a lot above the rim, essentially. I didn't really see anything wrong with the shooting mechanics, but then again, he didn't really shoot the ball that much. It'll be interesting to see how he does at the 4 and the small ball center, because if he is in fact 250, I envision them playing a lot at the small ball center. And it'll be interesting to see how he can switch on the perimeter, if he still has a foot speed at 250, because that 30 pounds is no joke.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I like him a lot. I want to see how he does this year at Butler, because I think they're going to throw him on the court right away. If they had him put on 30 pounds, there's obviously a reason for him doing that. Second guy, Marquise Hastings, 6'6", 190, 3-star from Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's in Alex's neck of the woods.
Sure is.
Ranked 474 by 24/7. First thing that jumps out at me is this kid plays with 100% at all times. He's an intense player on the court. He's going to be playing on the perimeter. I didn't see a lot of perimeter moves, but that's something that can be worked on. He's one of those kids that is going to get on the court based off his intensity. His defense. He has really good defense for being 6'6", 190. Has good instincts on the defensive end. He's a above the rim guy also. He can shoot from the corner. He'll be a long-term prospect. It'll be interesting to see how they work with him over there at Butler. Overall, I like this class. I just want to see 2-3 years down the road what kind of player Marquise Hastings is, because he works. He's a worker, from what I can tell.
Yeah, Marquise Hastings, just a little local insight. He went to Godwin Heights High School, which is in Grand Rapids. Their team went 21-2 this past season. They were actually in a conference with a local school that I cover for my job. I work at a local newspaper as a sports writer. So I do know this team a little bit, not much. But I can tell you that the competition that Marquise Hastings and the rest of Godwin Heights played against is fairly weak. They're kind of in a more rural part of Grand Rapids. So they don't play the best competition. Their average margin of victory was probably somewhere around the 20-25 point range in conference. So they kind of just wiped the floor with everyone. They lost to Grand Rapids South Christian in the district final. and South Christian's much more of an urban Grand Rapids school. So you got to wonder. I kind of worry about Marquise Hastings, having to play the bigger and better competition. He definitely will need some work because he dominated in high school because the competition is just not that good in the rural Grand Rapids area as far as nationally or even in West Michigan speaking. So he'll need some work. But that's just a little insight there. So we're going to move on from Butler, and we're going to finish it out with Marquette. BK, go for it.
Marquette was ranked as the last of the teams in the Big East as far as recruiting goes because they only technically have one signing, but they do have 3 very promising newcomers. I'm going to start off with Joey Hauser. He's a 4-star and number 10 ranked power forward and 51st overall. He's the brother of junior forward at Marquette, Sam Hauser. So it was kind of a given that he would be going to Marquette as well. He's listed at 6'8", 210 pounds. Thing about him is, yeah, he's 6'8", but even at high school level, he didn't seem to want to be playing as a big, even though he was the biggest guy on his team. He's good at shooting off the catch. He makes good, smart passes from the high post, good at finding the open man inside. He really is, his best fit is on the perimeter or playing as a high post pick and roll style offense. He's not a very aggressive finisher. He cowers down to guys that are bigger than him. He really needs to play up to his size or really work on creating his own shot. He has bad streaks on both sides of the ball. For example, there's multiple times I saw where he would take a bad shot on one end and then come down on defense and lose his man and give up points on the other. So he really gets in his head too much, is something that kind of worries me. Maybe, working with his brother will do something for him, I'm not really, I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't tell you what's going on with the kid's head.
I'm kind of a psychiatrist.
Kind of.
I didn't look into this guy too much, but I can say that Steve Wojciechowski, their coach, obviously he had a kid like Andrew Rousey for a couple of years. So you got to think that he's pretty comfortable with shooters and developing that shooting skill set. So if there's a guy that, can work on his outside game, if that's what he wants to do, I think Woj will give him a chance at that. So.
And that would really give him the best shot to make it at the next level too, because like I said, he's just not very strong in the paint. He's just kind of there. He's taking up space for the most part, but you could tell he's more comfortable playing out on the wing. Next guy I'm going to talk about is actually a 4-star that signed with Marquette back in 2016, but he went on his 2-year mission trip, Mormon. It's Brendan Bailey, son of former North Carolina State great Thurl Bailey, which I thought that was pretty cool. He was ranked as the 99th overall player in the 2016 class. And when he signed, he was listed as 6'7", 170 pounds, so really scrawny guy. Now he's got himself up to 6'8", 190, so he's bulked up a little bit more, not up to the level where I would like him to be, but obviously got some improvement there. He's a really good isolation guy, long wingspan, almost 7 feet. He's got a very unorthodox shot, but it's smooth. It's consistent, so I'm not gonna critique it too much. He's very comfortable with it. No reason to get into that. Biggest issues with him were boxing out on defense and being more vocal on defense. So really, defense just wasn't much of his strong suit. There's a lot that can be worked on there, but basketball's changing and defense isn't as important to a lot of players and a lot of teams now, so who knows if that's actually going to be a factor.
Shout outs to BK and Aaron Thrash for finding this guy. I did not find him in my initial research. I don't specialize in looking into guys who left for mission trips. So good job finding him. Much appreciated. We don't want to leave anyone out here if possible. And it's going to be kind of unique having a 20 or 21-year-old freshman coming in after a mission trip. So he'll be the elder statesman if he sticks around. So kind of a unique find there. Appreciate it.
And then they did have one transfer. I don't think anybody knows anything about him. I think he's from Creighton or something.
Yeah, Omaha. Yeah. Oh, I love Omaha. Bragan, do you want to go have like brunch at Omaha?
Yeah, you can drive around Omaha.
Let's do it. Oh my God, I love Omaha.
You guys might get hit by somebody if you drive in Omaha. Just a heads up.
Probably.
Oh my God, I just thought of a new soundboard clip. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Oh, boy. Ed Morrow was a transfer from Nebraska. Right now, I believe he's listed at 6'7", 235, 240-ish. At Nebraska, he was primarily a big man, not a whole lot of range from what I've seen. He averaged 9.4 points, 7.5 rebounds, really just a solid big, but he decided he wanted to transfer to Marquette because he wants to be more of a perimeter guy, work on his shot, try to transition to the next level, because you're not going to see a 6'7" big in the NBA anytime soon. Aaron, I know you have a lot that you want to say about him, so I'm going to kind of...
Ed Morrow, come back. That's all I need to say. We need you right now. No, he left because, like you said, he's a big. And we used him a lot at center at his time in Nebraska, a lot. We used the combination of him and Michael Jacobson. And Jacobson ended up leaving too. When we get to the Big 12, I have something to say to Michael Jacobson. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, he didn't have a shot. Like you said, he shot what did we find? 60% from the foul line?
Yeah, 60% even in his career.
So he doesn't really if he's not shooting well from the free throw line, it kind of makes me wonder how well he's going to shoot from deep.
I still understand his wanting to make that move and try to better himself if he really has his eyes set on the pros. I respect it, I guess.
I respect it. I want to see how it works out for him. I'm going to be rooting for him next year because he's a Nebraska kid. I have to root for him. It's in my DNA. We'll see how he fits because I didn't really see him put on the court that much. He's an interesting guy. That's all I'm going to say. He's a Chicago native also.
You think if his shot hasn't developed the way he wants it to, then Marquette will kind of throw him back down at the center role?
Oh, 100%. 100%. They're going to throw him. If his shot hasn't developed the way it should in this year off, they're going to throw him right back down at the center.
I mean, he never even attempted a three-pointer in his
He didn't,
career.
no.
He said he was 60% from the charity stripe, so I mean, I'm intrigued to see what he's done in the last...
I am also.
I mean, he's gone a year without playing basketball, so I'm interested to see what he can show the world. I'm sure that's what he's ready to do, too.
Him being a Chicago native will help him as well. Granted, he was born in Lincoln, so there's that caveat as well. So, putting him at center works a lot. Just in general, it works a lot. He's 6'7", 240, but he plays like he's 6'9", 280. He's a physical kid. I want to see how he does. I'm going to be rooting for him. I wish he was here, though. We need him. We need him badly right now.
Nebraska needs a lot of guys.
You need everything.
Yeah.
I don't like you guys.
Oh,
it's
by
true.
The way, when we do the next... oh, wait. You guys already did the Big Ten without me, didn't you?
Yeah,
we did. Sorry,
Damn
buddy.
it. I was going to call dibs on Nebraska.
What do you say?
Shoot.
He said he was going to call dibs on Nebraska.
Oh, of course.
So you gotta hang on till tomorrow.
I just wanted to play this because I love Ed Morrow's name. Ed Morrow, Ed Morrow, I love ya, Ed Morrow.
All right, now you got Aaron crying. Great.
See, this is actually what Aaron is going to play when he goes to the gym. And he's going to cry his eyeballs out like the little sensitive white girl he is. Thank you guys for being on here. Final impressions of the Big East class of 2018. Pretty underwhelming from what I saw. There's some gems in here, but I don't know. It's the Big East.
They're not even really a Power 5. Well, they're
It's
not a
not.
Power 5 conference. They're not.
We cheated a little bit,
They call themselves a Power 6, if that tells you anything.
I know. Sorry, guys, we cheated a little bit. We needed a chill week. I've been swamped at work. We're going to get back into it 2 weeks from now in a actual major conference. The ones we have left, of course, we have the, the Big 12, the Pac-12, and the SEC. I'm excited for all three of those personally. Aaron, go ahead.
I know which one you're excited for. That's all I'm going to say.
Of course you do. Oh, God. I'm itching. But, yeah, I mean, you heard our stuff. Yeah, it's the Big East, man. I don't know if we would do this again, but, hey, hope you enjoyed the trivia segment. I'm going to try to bring that back every week now that I have a nice official drop for it. That was a lot of fun, and hope you like the chill show. Let us know what you think on the Facebook group. Feedback's always welcome, obviously, and I think we're going to get out of here. Guys, any last words?
Yeah, I just started a GoFundMe to buy me a new chair because I impaled myself on that chair. Hopefully it won't need stitches.
Yeah, I saw the Snapchat you sent me mid-show. That was pretty funny. That chair is destroyed.
Oh, it's done. It's done. So yeah.
Oh my God.
GoFundMe/Bragan Kelly.
Aaron, any last words, buddy?
No, I'm good. You guys have picked on me enough, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Oh my God.
Wise
It's
choice.
always good fun.
I know. You're good. I don't care.
All right, guys. Well, for myself, Aaron Thrash, Bragan Kelly, and Dan, reminder, he is watching My Date with the President's Daughter instead of being on here. We're going to get out of here today. Thank you so much for listening to the College Basketball Discussion Podcast. We will see you in 2 weeks with another conference. Stay tuned to the group. Let us know how we did. And that's it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.